This story is called Get Rich or Die Trying. Colin Prescott was a good boy. He had a good upbringing. He came from a noble family. Money, however, was always hard to achieve. Still, Colin was an ambitious young man. At 19 years of age, he had already bought his first car, a second-hand Volkswagen Bug that ran okay. One night, a school friend came to see him. This 20-year-old young man was driving a brand new BMW car, the plastic still on the seats. After a brief conversation, his friend Marlon asked, "How you doing financially, dog?" "Poorly," said Colin. "Any ideas?" "You seem to be doing great, driving a car anyone would kill for." "Interesting you said that, bro. You know what this is?" Marlon handed Colin an envelope with a blue paper in it. It was a list of names and telephone numbers in America. Another paper accompanied that one, bearing the personal information of these people. "These are clients," Marlon said with a grin. "What are you, an insurance salesman?" "No, sir. But this is self-insurance still. I am ensuring that I don't die broke like most people I know. You see these clients, dog? This is real money and very easy work. Just make some calls, say all the right words, and the jackpot is yours. Simple. See that car? I bought it cash, bro. Suppose you see the two homes I bought last year." "You mean houses?" Colin corrected him. "A man can't buy a home. A house is not a home." "Okay, easy, dog, easy." Marlon replied. "Look, why you keep calling me a dog?" Colin asked. "I don't like that, man. Stop doing that." "We cool, man," Marlon assured him. "Look, let me get to the point. This is a lucrative business. 1 month in this business, and I swear you'll dash rid that VW Bug of yours and drive something nice. For real. Me know that." "So what, brother? You're in or you're out?" "Tell me how it go, man," Colin asked. "Okay, dig this. These people work for a large group of billion-dollar companies. In order to entice the most productive and intelligent people to stay and work for them for life, they offer all employees a chance to become millionaires overnight. It is done through a compulsory lottery system. 5% of each one's salary contributes to a grand lottery fund with a draw every month end. For everyone have an automatic compulsory lottery ticket in their name every week. Each person have 4 tickets by month end. From this great raffle of the jackpot purse, 3 winners are chosen every month end. 3 people become $50 million richer every month. Our mission, if you care to work with me, is to call some of these people and tell them that you are an inside agent who would make sure their name come up as a winner. You must let them know that you are part of a crew who will pull the strings to make it happen. And as long as them keep it a secret, the money is theirs, for sure. But the crew must be paid a fee before the draw, $5,000, and another $5,000 from the money that they are sure to win. You can talk Yankee? Let me hear you, dog. "Yo, stop calling me a dog, man." "Sorry, dog. Sorry, bro," said Marlon. "So what you think, bro?" "Sound interesting for real," Colin answered. "All right. Me check you tomorrow, see? Here is a few dollars to put gas in your car, bro." Marlon handed Colin a handful of money, 30,000 Jamaican dollars to be exact. And with that, Marlon drove away, his brand new BMW car looking as cool and crisp as ever, with purple, blue, red, and green lights under it. The whole vehicle resembling a horror house, with dancehall music pounding away, disturbing the entire neighborhood, leaving a trail of barking stray dogs penetrating the stillness of the night. "Colin? Colin?" That was the voice of Grandma, a slim, nosy little woman who never missed an opportunity to observe everything that happened in the neighborhood. Colin? Yes, Grandma. Who's that boy? What he want with you? Nothing, Grandma. Just an old school friend paying me a visit. So why him come so late after 11 o'clock at night? I don't know, Grandma. Young people don't check time. You know, we different. For real. I see him give you a long blue paper. What's that? Grandma asked. It's nothing, Grandma. Go get some sleep, Grandma. Listen to me, boy. Blue is the color of judgment. So, be careful. That is all I have to say. For all that glitters is not gold. You worry too much, Grandma, said Colin. A young people time now. We run the thing different. You know see? We are gonna turn it up for real. You see me? Me see you, yes. But I wonder if you see yourself. Only a child of the devil will show up late in the night, out of the blue, bearing gifts and making deals. Mark my words, boy. Mark my words. And with that, Granny slammed her bedroom door shut and went to bed. But her grandson was too excited to sleep. He could smell the money coming. It meant progress. Real progress. Colin counted the money Marilyn had just given him. It was more than he would usually make in a month. And there was a lot more where it came from. A whole lot more. Well, in less than 1 year, Colin was on top of the game. He had good money in the bank. Mad money. He got rid of his VW bug and was now driving an expensive Audi. In less than 2 years, Colin bought himself a nice house, equipped with swimming pool and all that. In less than 3 years, he had 4 baby mothers, 4 children from 4 different women who really didn't mind because they were all well taken care of and drive nice cars. Then one day, Freddie, one of Colin's handymen, proposed to go and pick up a large portion of cash from one of Colin's overseas agents who flew into Montego Bay only to deliver some money to divide between Colin and 2 other men. Freddie seemed trustworthy, and so Colin allowed him to collect the money. But Freddie had another idea. Why should he give Colin $300,000 and be paid only $5,000? Remember, he had never seen so much US money before, an amount that he thought he may never get the chance to ever achieve in this life. And so Freddie decided to run away with the cash, all of it. When it became obvious that Freddie had double-crossed the whole crew, and Jack Smart and another guy named Mother Cat came over from Kingston to collect their cut of the money, Colin could hardly find the words to tell them what had really happened. And to prove that he had nothing to do with the disappearance of the money, Colin had to send a hit squad of 3 men to wipe out Freddie's family and burn down the house where they all live. It was a very dark day in the country. 15 people died, including Freddie's baby mother and his newborn son. It is important to note that the men who did the killings were, none of them, happy about it. These men were all boys from Christian homes who were not murderers at heart, but they felt that this evil deed had to be carried out to prove that they had nothing to do with Freddie and the missing money, or the Kingston crew would have killed Colin and his entire crew that cold, rainy Sunday night. The police had a very hard time helping to keep the peace in the Logwood community where the killings took place. And Freddie could not believe his eyes when he turned on the TV in the guest house room where he was hiding out with 3 shapely, delicious-looking Negro girls, and saw his grandfather, grandmother, his 4 sisters, 2 brothers, his baby mother, his newborn baby boy, all riddled with bullets. He lost his cool completely and vowed to kill Colin. Not for a moment did he realize that he is the real cause of his family's killing. He vowed revenge. He cried and cried. Nothing and no one could comfort him. At some point, the girls realized that Freddie was sitting on a large stash of money, and one of them told her police brother, who came early in the morning, with another policeman and killed Freddie and took all the money. And that was the end of Freddie Smith. Just like that. Now, at some point, Colin thought that Marlon was becoming too greedy for his own good. Marlon called Colin one morning, very early. Yo, dog, you have to pay I some dues, Star. The first name list you get from me, you still owe me some money from that, What you talking about? Colin asked. Yeah, man, things different now, dog. You owe me 10 grand US for that nameless, dog. You only give I 5 grand. You see me? Check me Friday. We talk again. Seen? Colin replied. Now both men had the same ruthless idea. Each thought it wise to get rid of the other, so they both bought high-powered weapons. But the same one who sold them both the guns was a federal agent of the US government. She tipped off the local police, and both Colin and Marlon were caught red-handed with the guns and ammunition and the nameless and thousands of US dollars, which was a big financial bonus for hard-working members of the security forces. The men in charge of the raid made it very clear. Charging these men with so much US money would only get them in more trouble. Boys, do you want money laundering charges against you as well? Both men said no. And so the captain of the squad divided the money up equally among himself and his 5 men. What happens here stays here. You see me? His men, with pure joy on their faces, nodded their heads. Colin and Marlon nodded theirs too. So what about the guns? Well, those two were booked to appear in court the following week. Meanwhile, the boys who killed Freddie's family were truly sad. Something told them that their days were numbered, for they were the sons of decent people who brought them up in church. One of the boys, Richard, couldn't take it any longer. He drank Ramazone and killed himself. But word on the street is that his baby mother poisoned him and went away with every cent he had in his secret safe. But of course, that is a rumor. Another shotter, Doggy Stiley, got nervous and went and told the police everything he knew just to get a lighter sentence. And another one named Ratty went to church to get his soul saved. But the devil was too deep in the details already. And so, while on his knees glorifying God, a squad of policemen entered the church and scooped him up off the floor. The big problem is that he died mysteriously in police custody that same night. It is clear that many originally good people were trapped into doing really evil things with no possibility of walking away untouched. That is what is called selling your soul to the devil. It is really sad and scary. It is called the quicksand effect, where you find yourself sinking deeper and deeper into the proverbial mud, and there's no way back. Now, standing before a judge, Colin and Marlon found themselves answering to very serious charges: possession of illegal firearms and ammunition. And then it got all the worse. A charge of international racketeering called scamming. An extradition request was suddenly produced by the clerk of the court, and the judge agreed with all its terms and conditions. And the next day, both boys found themselves on a special chartered flight to America to face more apparent justice. A justice that was really shocking indeed. The plane was huge, one of the biggest planes anyone had ever seen land in Jamaica, from a company called Con Air International, designed to move prisoners from anywhere to anywhere in the world. The flight was packed to capacity in a way that would remind you of the slave ships of olden days, full of young black people only, all accused of scamming. In a few hours, the plane landed at a military air base in Arizona, where they were all taken in large buses to a high security facility somewhere in the desert. The scary thing is that the facility is built almost a mile under the ground. On arrival, all of the inmates, more than 400 of them, were given food and drinks. Then something weird happened. Each inmate started to feel drugged, tired, and sleepy. The first thing Colin noticed is that there were no prison cells in this facility, only thousands and thousands of beds, like a great hospital, and more than a dozen operating tables where many crews of Caucasian doctors and nurses were in attendance. Then suddenly, everyone heard a loud voice addressing the gathering. It was the voice of a tall, fat Caucasian man. He was smoking a cigar that had an awful smell indeed. He said, "Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Grim Reaper Corporation. It is important to inform you that you have been brought here for a very special reason, a reason we think you deserve to know. A few years ago, our company sent you a list of names and addresses of people you presumed to be ordinary Americans, but they were not. They were all our agents employed by Grim Reaper Corporation on a secret assignment to lure you into our net. It is called human fishing. And what we were fishing for? Human body parts. We have a very long list of important people badly in need of hearts, kidneys, livers, and other transplantable organs, especially penises. Oh yes, we have a huge load of requests for black penises. And you have answered the harvest call perfectly. We really should thank you. Should we feel guilty in any way for taking your organs? Hell no, we paid you top dollar for them. Of course, you thought you were getting free money. But nothing in this life is free. Everything comes at a price. And today, you will deliver the goods. I hear many of you crying. Go ahead and cry. But crying is a waste of time in this underground facility. Your bodies belong to us now, to dispose of as we see fit. There's a large furnace here where we will reduce your remains to ashes. By tomorrow, you will all be dead. As our mission tonight is to reap a healthy harvest of body parts for our wealthy recipients around the country. And I'm sure you know by now that you have been drugged. That is why none of you can stand at this time. As you lose consciousness, the harvesting shall begin. I am Mr. Doug McIntyre, CEO of the Grim Reaper Organization. May God have mercy on your souls. But you have sold us your bodies. Exchange is no robbery. This is what capitalism is all about. This is business, not murder. As far as we are concerned, good night and goodbye. Colin Prescott looked around him in absolute horror. His friend Marlon was being rudely cut open by two doctors right in front of him. They removed his lungs, his kidneys, his heart. Marlon was motionless on a huge table, as naked as he was born. His penis was now carefully being removed. Colin wanted to scream, but he could not. He was slowly losing consciousness. He remembered Grandma's words, but it was too late. Too late to pray for deliverance. Too helpless to warn his friends Carlos, Terry, Alex, or even Winston. He knew that they too would find themselves in this same trap. There was no one to warn them. He would never again see his children. His mother will never know how he really died. He cried and he cried. His ears could hear the crying of brothers and sisters from across the Caribbean, from Africa, from Brazil, from everywhere. All Africans, all black slaves who didn't even realize that they were slaves. Then Colin died. He did have a motto to get rich or die trying, but now he could only die crying. Suddenly Colin, though he was dead, found himself in spirit at his grandmother's house. Now she's sitting on her rocking chair, on her veranda. A postman steps up to deliver some letters. Grandma opened the first one. She smiles. Janet! Janet, look here. Them say Colin escaped. Read this. The letter read, Dear Mrs. Janet Wilson, we hereby inform you that your son Colin Prescott has escaped from our custody along with an undisclosed number of inmates a few days ago. If he should contact you, please notify us immediately. We will keep you informed of any new development. Yours truly, Mr. Doug McIntyre, USA Prison Authority. Colin's mother was very happy. She laughed out loud. Colin escaped. That boy ain't easy at all, she said. Colin started to pray again. Pray for his dear mother. She'll never see him again. Never know what became of him. Never get any justice for the slaughter of her son. And he shuddered to think that the white man somewhere out there will be happily using his penis and enjoying himself. What does God have to say about all this? Where is God in these times anyway? Suddenly, Colin found himself in great pain. He was suddenly awakened out of a deep sleep by the sting of a very long centipede. He could see the 40-legged creature running across the bed. He was in great pain, but he was alive in his own bed. He would have killed the insect, but how could he? This insect just brought him back from the dead. He let it go on its way. Morning was breaking. His VW bug car was parked under the ackee tree where he always did park it. There were no children, no baby mothers, no money, no house with swimming pool, no gun, no Marlin, no scamming. It was the happiest day in Colin Prescott's life, and it was Christmas Day. Colin took a quick morning bath. He got dressed and went and sat beside his mother in the parish church and sang hymns of praise and Christmas carols with her and Grandma. They were happy to see him, but Colin was even more happy. Happy for a second chance. Happy to be alive again. Happy to be free. Lucifer will never trap me again, he thought. Money will never again conquer me. Selah. Blessed.